Today's video is about the monsoon. Is it a blessing or is it a curse? First of all, we're going to talk about what the monsoon actually is. So basically there are two kinds of the monsoon, the summer and the winter monsoon. Generally, the monsoon is a wind which is characterized by its heavy rainfall, but also about his very dry characteristics. It's caused by the movement of the ITZZ during the seasons. During our northern summer, the ITZZ moves to the north, and during our winter, it moves to the south. In summer, during the summer monsoon, there is heavy rainfall, and it's mostly between June and October. During the winter monsoon, there's a drought in most of the places, and that occurs between November to February. In general, the monsoon is a wind in Asia, especially Southeast Asia, in countries like India, China, or Japan. Now we're going to look at the positive effects of the summer monsoon. The rain is needed for the harvest, and there are sometimes even two harvests in 1 year. Those are needed because the food must be stored for the future. Additionally, the people and animals are able to feed themselves, and the crops can be sold, so the farmers do have more money to buy other stuff too. Additionally, the wells get filled with water again. The water which is not needed can be stored for dry periods. And the rivers are filled with water again. That's also better for trading, and the mobility of the people is better then too. Last but not least, the water can be used to generate electricity. That's also a very, very big benefit. All in all, the water and the rainfall from the monsoon in the summer are essential for survival of animals, plants, and humans, and also the economy benefits from it. Next of all, we're going to talk about the negative effects of the summer monsoon. If there is too much precipitation, it leads to floods. That causes the death of animals, plants, and humans. Houses get destroyed, which provides homelessness. Fields get destroyed and the seeds get washed out, which leads to no or only a bad harvest, which causes that there are no food, things to eat, and no crops. That leads to hunger. Additionally, there are many landslides and many storms, and people need to leave their region and their home, sometimes even forever, because it can't be built up again. Additionally, one thing I did not think about in the first place is that some diseases occur more often, like malaria or cholera. Moreover, there is something called orographic rainfall. In front of the Himalayas or some mountain ranges, there's massive rainfall which causes a flood. This is because the clouds need to get above the mountains, so they give away all their water, so to say. And behind the Himalayas or another mountain range, there is only little rainfall which can cause a drought. Also, if the monsoon is too late, there is not enough time to harvest, and if there was a longer drought beforehand, it causes starvation in the next dry period because they don't have enough food for the future. One last point, which I think was very important, is that the people there must have a high psychological pressure because the situation is unpredictable and you can't really plan anything. All in all, the summer monsoon might also lead to death, starvation, and destruction, and also economical problems. In the following, I'm going to talk about the positive effects of the winter monsoon. As you can see, I did not find out anything, because actually there are not really any positive effects about the winter monsoon. My second last points are the negative effects of the winter monsoon. As I already said, there is almost no rain in most of the regions, which causes a drought. This drought again causes starvation if not enough food is stored, and death of thirst if not enough water is stored. Additionally, the plants do also die if they don't have any water, obviously. The soil, as you can see on the right in the two pictures, is also very, very dry and more or less unusable. It's called desertification, and it's very hard to make it usable again. And in summer, if there are enormous amounts of water during the summer monsoon, the soil will be even worse because it can't work with all the water. Moreover, some wells don't have any water, but it's not everywhere, but still there are wells without water. And additionally, the people, especially the farmers, have only little to no money because there are no crops they are able to plant or sell. And all in all, the winter monsoon will lead to death if there are not enough supplies stored in the summer before. Last but not least, we need to talk about my personal conclusion about the topic. Is the monsoon a curse or a blessing? As we already saw, there are many advantages but also many disadvantages. I think everyone, him or herself, needs to think about what is more important for him or herself. I think the people there could try to make their fields, houses, etc. safer in case of massive rainfall, and they could also try to use the rainfall for their own benefit even more. For example, if they save more water and sell less crops to keep them to feed their own people. As I already said, for me it's not clear to say whether it's a blessing or a curse, so I just say it's both kind of. But I personally would rather say it's a curse because the risk of death is very, very high, and of course, I would not like to live there because, as I already said, the risk of dying because of a flood, starvation, or of thirst are not really small, and I'm glad I'm allowed and I'm able to live in Germany and we don't have that weather phenomenons. As you might have noticed, I'm super professional, so here I'm going to give you my sources. And as you might have seen, the sources from the pictures are directly next to them, so I'm not going to list them here again. The last thing left to say from me is thank you for your attention, and I hope you could learn something from my video.